Hello friends, welcome back to another session of Docker. So in the last session we are done with uh, one example of Dockerfile. we see how we can create Docker files, how we can create image from Docker files, and yes, and what are the components of Docker files. We are done with uh, this topics in our last session. Along with that, we also have seen what is the default name of Dockerfile, how we can change the name of Dockerfile. So that also we have uh, we did in our last session. Okay, so in this session we will see one more example of a Dockerfile. In our last Dockerfile, what we did, we created one simple hello.java application that is printing some message in the console. That's it. And we did some basic commands description, like what is the use of from, label, copy, work directory, run, cmd. So we will use the same, but we will add some more points in that file and we will see one more example. Okay, so now let's create this Docker file first, and then we will describe one by one all these steps. Okay, so let's copy it, and where you should paste it. So I think in our last time we created our session here, Docker, yes, Docker is there. So yes, we can save this into our workspace, our Docker workspace, with the name of what should be the name? Dockerfile. Dockerfile is the default name that should be given. Default name is Dockerfile. So I am giving the same name, so I am not going to change the name again and again. Okay, that's it. Fine. JDK 17, you can use the latest version. Okay, now from label, that is okay. I think you understood what is the use of this one, label. And from run also, first I am updating the system repository, then I am installing OpenJDK 17. After that one, what we are doing here, so this is nothing but we are downloading Tomcat from the official website. This is the official website link from where we are downloading our Tomcat tar.cz file, and we are placing under temp tomcat tar.cz. That's it. This is very simple, straightforward. This is the extra that we are doing. Run means whenever image is creating, at that time only this operation will be performed. Okay, after that one, what we are doing, we are moving to temp directory. Because under temp directory only we have placed tomcat tar.cz file, and what we are doing, we are extracting tomcat.tar.cz file. After that one, what we are doing, after that one, I am simply moving from Apache Tomcat to OPT Tomcat. That's it. This directory I am moving to Tomcat, and I am exposing 8080 port number. What is this port number? This expose statement is a new, remaining all statements are same. First I am downloading Tomcat and I am placing under temp directory this zz file, tar.zz file. Then I am moving to temp directory and extracting the tar.zz file of Tomcat. Then I am moving the extracted directory to opt Tomcat. Then I am exposing one port number. This is a new, we have to see what is this one. After that one, this is cmd. Cmd is nothing but whenever container is starting, at that time it will run. What we are running? We are running our Tomcat. That's it. Okay. So this is only in this container. What will happen in this container? Our Tomcat will be listening. That's it. Okay. So save this file and so from is okay. Represent the base image, yes. Label represent the information about the owner of Dockerfile. Copy is used to copy the file. Working directory, cmd, run, same only. These commands are same. Just expose port, expose command we have given something different. What is the use of expose? Used to expose the server port. Can you tell me what is the default port of Tomcat? Can you tell me? Default port for Tomcat is 8080. So that we are exposing. Why? Because in our application, in our container, we are running one Tomcat server, and that Tomcat server is running on 8080 port number. So I am exposing that port number simply. That's it. Then I am running Tomcat. Okay, fine. So my server.1.10, you can do like that. This is just build command, image, docker image build, docker image build. I want to build an image from what? From file. Which file? Dockerfile. So Dockerfile name you no need to tell, because the default name it is taking. And what should be the name of your image? Image name and tag is there. And from which directory you have to take the file? Dockerfile you have to take from the current file directory. That's it. So copy it, go to your terminal, and what can you see here? First I will see how many images are there. So my Java img, my Java image, one image is there. So let it be. And how many containers are there? How many containers are there? One container is there. That hello from that image that is created. Okay, let it be. Next, copy and paste. I want to create, but where is this file? Is this file is available under our present working directory? Not there. See what it is telling: failed to read Dockerfile. Not able to read Dockerfile from where? Lib docker temp. From this file it is not able to find. No such file. So what you should do? Close this terminal. Open this terminal here itself, because Dockerfile is here. Our Dockerfile is here only. So you have to open here only. Now you execute the command. It will build the image from Dockerfile. Yes. See, it's doing. Only time it is taking to download the Tomcat, because this is the first time. This step is first time. Next time onward this also will not take much time, because it will already downloaded. That's it. Yes. So now image is ready. See how many images are there now? 2 images. My server is another image. So from my server I want to create a container. How can I do it? Docker run image name my server, tag is 1.0. What should be the name of container? what you want to give the name of container, and it should be run always in detached mode, it should not be run in attached mode. So give d here, give d here. And what should be the name of container? You can give the name of container also. I am giving here my tomcat, that's it, my tomcat cont, that's it, my tomcat container, that's it, and press enter. So one container is created, and container is in running state or what? Can you tell me what is the state of that container? Is it running or it is stopped? It must be running, it must be in running state. Why? Let's see. See, it's up 19 seconds before it's up, 20 seconds before it is created, now 90 seconds this server is up. Name of this server is my tomcat container, okay, my tomcat container, that's it. And port is 8080. Now the question is now the question is, how can you access this tomcat? Can you access this tomcat? Is there any way to access this tomcat? If you hit directly from browser localhost 8080, localhost 8080, will it work? No, it is looking for local, sorry, localhost. So where this server, it means where your server is installed in local machine with 8080, is it there? No, it's not there. So what you should do, if I press enter, what will happen is it is coming, but this is not a tomcat, this is our Jenkins. In 8080 it is telling we are installing tomcat, it's Jenkins. So definitely there is no server, no tomcat is running on 8080 in my system. Where the tomcat is running in this case? Tomcat is running in the container, tomcat is running in container. See, tomcat is running in container. So first you have to access the container, and then you can access the tomcat. So how can you do it? So yes, so you have to docker container run d, and you have to give the port binding. You cannot access that one. You have to run the container with port binding, then only you can run it. Okay. So how can you do it? So definitely this container you have to stop it, then you have to start this container again. Okay. So currently you cannot access because you have not assigned any port for the container. You have not assigned any port for the container. See what it is doing. P stands for what? Upper P. If you use Docker assign some port to host OS automatically to access the container exposed by the port. P used to export number explicitly. You want to expose some port number explicitly, you can use P. Currently you cannot access. So what I will do, I will stop this container, or I will delete this container. Docker remove forcefully, because we cannot access this container. This container is running, this container's tomcat we cannot access because there is no port binded for container. So I am just deleting this one. Copy this, paste it, that's it. Now there is only one container, it is not in running state. Next, how you created the container? You created the container like that, you created the container. I am doing like this now. Let's see now what will happen. Yes, now you see the port, something is different. Before we created the container without this p command, without this p parameter, sorry. So if we done without p parameter, there will be no port number for the container. Make sense? If we are creating container without p parameter, upper key parameter, so there will be no port binder to your container, so you cannot access the container. Now you have created container with the p parameter, p uppercase parameter. In that case, what your Docker is doing, your Docker is assigning one port number to your container, and that port number you can use to access. So instead of this one, you have to use this port, and now you will be seeing Tomcat is running in this container. See, now this, in this port number, one container is running. Now this port number is not your Tomcat port number. You remember always 32768 not is not your Tomcat container, Tomcat port number. This is your container port, and inside that container 8080 port number, your Tomcat is running. So we are accessing the Tomcat like that now. If you see from the console, you can see very much clear. See, port number 3278 is redirected to 8080. That's it. Port number 32768 is redirected to 8080, and on 8080 your Tomcat is running. That's it. That is the meaning of this one. But currently this port is automatically assigning. We are not assigning port number for the container. If we want to do that one, how can you do? Simple. Instead of upper key, you have to use lower p. After lower p, comma, you assign some port like 9000. I am signing. So I think this is correct one. Okay, you should not give equal. Equal is not required. Just after p, you have to assign some port like 9000. That's it. And what happened? Okay, Tomcat container name is already there, so you have to give some other name. Container 2, give container 2. That's it. Now another container is created. Now one more container is created. See the container details. You can see here 2 containers are there. My Tomcat container, that is with port number 32768, 32769. No. Port number we are explicitly passing, so it should take that port number. Why it is not taking that port number? Okay, something we have missed. Actually this should be something like that. Okay. So what can you do? You just delete this container. Wrong configuration is somewhat missed. Okay, Docker remove forcefully because this container is running. So this is that container that just now we created. Copy this and paste it here, Yes, it's removed. Next, what I will do, go to the same command, and 8080 what is 8080 our port number. That port number has to be binded with 9000. That's it. You have to do this one. Now if you see the details, it is telling 9000 redirected to 8080. So what you can do here, even this is running because this container is running, another container is there with the 9000, exactly same. Now you see this 9000 is not your Tomcat port, this is your container port. We have how many containers we have currently? We have 2 containers running, my Tomcat CONT1 and my Tomcat CONT2. 2 containers we have started. In both the container Tomcat is running. On Tomcat is running on which port? 8080. In both the container Tomcat is running on 8080. Is it possible? Yes. 80. See, in my system one Tomcat container is running on 8080. Is it okay? In your system also Tomcat is running on 8080 port number, that is also okay. Yeah, in same system you cannot run 2 server with the same port. In a single system, if I say in my computer I am running Tomcat on 8080 and I want to run another Tomcat or another server at port number 8080, is it possible? No, it's not possible, because 2 server cannot have a same port in a single machine. Port number has to be different, but same port can be there for a server for a different machine. In 2 different machine 8080, if it is running, it is fine. So this currently 2 containers, it means 2 machines, 2 containers are there. So in the both container, and in both container Tomcat is running on port number 8080. That is okay, but that is resolved with server port, container port. On this container I am running this container I am running this. Okay. So this is, in this way, how we can create our container with our Tomcat server or any other server. Okay, you can define your whatever steps you want. Currently sorry, I closed this one, Dockerfile open. Yes. So this is how we are exposing. Exposing means what? This port exposed by the container. Tomcat container is running on 8080. That's why I am exposing 8080. If you are running some any other server, like you are running MySQL, so whatever the ports 3336 something port will be there. So you have to expose that port only. If you are running some other any other RabbitMQ server or MongoDB server, so accordingly you have to expose that port. Okay, so this is called Dockerfile. How we can create a Dockerfile with the with the Tomcat server. Upper key means port number will automatically assigned by your Docker engine. Lower key means you have to assign port manually. Okay. Yes. That's it. Yeah, we have accessed this one. The difference between foreground and background running container is what? Foreground means the container that are running on a terminal and occupy the terminal for its long so called foreground running container. So and background means currently this both server is running in background. My Tomcat and my Tomcat container 2 both are running in background. Why? Because we run in detached mode. So this is running in background. If I don't give this parameter d, then it will run in attached mode. So definitely the logs will come in this terminal itself only. So that is a foreground. You can see that one, you can see that log, that is the foreground. Background means it is running in background, you don't have that control now. Anyway, you can attach with that one, or you can interact with that one. You can enter into the container using that commands that we have learned in our previous sessions. Where is the commands? Yes, this one. If you want to enter into already running container, you have to use docker exe interactive mode. ITE means interactive mode, and you have to give the container ID, then bin bash. That's it. You will enter into the container. If you want to attach means just attached. You want to attach, that's it. You cannot do anything. In that case, you have to use docker attach and container ID. That's it. Okay, you can do that one. Next. So what we have learned extra in this one, almost similar, just we have learned what is expose, what is the use of expose command of Dockerfile. This is the one that we have, this is the new. So write that question here, question number 41. What is the use of expose command of Docker Dockerfile? What is that? Can you tell me? Expose command, the command is used to expose the server port running on container container to for what that is okay. Expose command is used to expose the server port running on container, or you can say that expose command is used to expose the port of container server, port of containers server, port of containers server, container server. Okay, that's it. Port of container server. For what? For binding. That's it. Binding. Where we are doing binding? Bindings we are doing while creating the container. See, binding we are doing while creating the container. For binding the container, for binding the container with the server port. That is the use of expose command. Okay, next. So how we will bind? Another question. How to bind the I'm writing down another question here. Question number 42. How to bind the how to bind the containers with the server port of container, or you can say how to bind the container with the with the container server. So the question is, the container can be binded with the help of ports. The ports will be, there will be two types of port. There will be two ports, container port, two ports. One is, what is that port? Two ports, container port and server port. And okay, so there will be two port. One is container port and server port. We will bind with this one. Okay, fine. And following command can be used to bind. What is that command? This is that command, docker container run or docker run. It's not like that, docker container run or docker whatever you want to use. See, here we are giving the only just run. Okay, whatever you want to give, you can give. Is it your convenient way? Similar to this one, see, docker build what, or docker image build, same only, no? Docker build what? Build image from Dockerfile. That is the make sense only. So you can clearly go with the convenience. From the name itself you will understand. Docker build image. Docker, you are telling to Docker build my image, and this is my image name and tag, and this is my directory, and my Docker file is this one. Simple. Similarly, if you say docker run, what you want to run? Docker run, what you will run? You want to run a container. But how will you run a container? You need an image, so you have to give image name. Okay, that's only. So you can give here docker run, and after that one, detached mode, I'm doing this is important here. And server, that is also server, sorry, this name is also not required. So whatever is required parameter I am passing, not passing any other parameter. Okay, that's it. Here also this container run, detached mode you can give, no issue, but leave it currently. And name not required currently, just simplifying that one, that's it. Okay, that's it. This is the example. Okay, this is example. But what will be the syntax? What will be the syntax? The syntax will be docker run p. What it will be? Container port, and this will be your server port. Correct? Container port and server port. And here what it will be image name, and after that one there will be tag. That's it. That is the syntax. Or else what is the another syntax? Another syntax is, instead of directly saying run, you can be more specific, docker container run. That's it. Okay, yes, fine. So how to bind the container with the container server? You can do that one now easily. Okay. That's it. This is the example. Okay. Now here you can ask a question, what is the meaning of p? Or you can use an upper key or lower key. Okay, so I'm writing another question, 43. Question number 43. What is Okay, so another question can be what is the difference between P and P. So we have seen this one. P upper key is used to auto assign the port number for container, where lower P is used to manually assign the port number for containers. That's it. Okay, so we done this much, I think. Is there any other point? That what is foreground, what is background? You can see that one. What is foreground? The application that is running in the same console and that server is running, and you can see the logs of that or console of that server, but in background you cannot see that one. Okay, that's it. Okay, this is done, expose is done. Yeah, so in this Dockerfile example 2 we have seen this much only. Okay, next you see the port mapping. From this diagram you can understand how that port mapping is happening. This is depicting that how the port mapping is happening. Okay, let me do something smaller. Okay, I think this much is okay. You can see now. Yes. So you can see how this port mapping is happening. So this is your machine, operating system, that can be an Ubuntu, Red Hat, Fedora, Mint, Windows or Mac, any of the operating system. In that operating system you have installed your Docker engine. Docker engine is nothing but your Docker. You understand, in your machine you have installed Docker. Okay, and the Docker is creating containers. So there are two containers. Here you can see that two containers are there. My app 1.0, one container is running on this, one application is running in this container, another is running on this container. So localhost 8080, what does it mean? Can you access that port number directly? Tomcat port, can you access directly? No, you cannot access. This is localhost 8080. You are trying to access directly the Tomcat server of a container. You cannot do that one. Not you can do for this one and this one, you cannot do. But how can you do it? You have to access localhost 56530. In that case this port will be binded to 8080. Similar to the other container, you have to access localhost 56531, and then you can access the 8080 port number of that application, because the mapping is done in this way. So this is called port mapping. This diagram will you will understand very clearly how this port mapping is happening. The port of your server, container server, the port of container server will be mapped to the port of container, and we have to access the container port only, and automatically the mapping will be redirected to server port. So this is called port mapping. Okay, in next session we will see how we can deploy one application in this Tomcat. Currently we have created our Tomcat is running. See how many Tomcats are running. Can you tell me how many Tomcats are running? Two Tomcats are running in two different container. two different containers are running. Okay, so in this way you can start the container. And suppose this first container, suppose I have stopped this container, again I will start, I need to pass this one port number. No, while creating we are passing the port and this configuration we are giving. Okay, that's it. So in our next session we will see how we can deploy a web application in this Tomcat of a container. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day. We'll see you in the next session.